Morning, everybody.
Morning.
On this,
It's not raining, it's just miserable.
it's miserable. I keep meaning to go down to clean this van. And I keep finding one reason or another why I don't do
I
it.
shouldn't do it.
It's either raining or it's too cold. Or I'm too busy dealing with, you know, right on this.
Yeah.
Dealing with,
Your pictures
and newsletters and what we're gonna talk about, things like that. What did you get up to yesterday, darling?
Not very much.
Oh,
Didn't feel as though I wanted to go out.
no.
So we put the bags of trimmings away, didn't we?
Yeah, that took some
In the cupboard. That took a bit of sorting out.
getting into that small cupboard. All
We
the
had
trimmings.
some lunch and we sat and watched a bit of football, didn't we, while we were having it?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I think I watched about 3 or 4 matches.
Yeah.
They're having to catch up, aren't they, after this World Cup? I thought they'd have adjusted the regime on the league football matches. I thought they'd have done away with some of the matches, but they haven't. They're having to play them all in rapid succession. But it were all FA Cup yesterday. So I think I watched about 3 matches all together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you maybe did.
And I'll tell you what I was looking at. I made a couple of videos when I first started doing YouTube. It was a couple of years ago. One is called Selling Up to Live Full-Time in a Motorhome, and the other one is Downsizing to Live Full-Time in a Motorhome. So there, if you type them titles in the search bar at the top, should find those 2 videos: Selling Up to Live Full-Time in a Motorhome and Downsizing to Live Full-Time in a Motorhome. And I was going through the process, talking about what we had to do when we lived in a house in Waddington, a village in Lincolnshire. We'd lived in it for 23 years, thereabouts. Moved into it in 1984. And we'd done quite a lot to it. It were only a very small
cottage
when we bought it, but it had an enclosed garden, a large enclosed garden with a barn, a stable in it that was never been occupied. It was just sort of derelict.
We kept hens and a sheep
and
in
a sheep
it,
in it at one time. We did, and a pig.
We had pig in other.
We had outbuildings and we actually built the workshop, the piano workshop, in the top of the garden. So it was quite a big garden. The workshop we built, I think it were 18. I can't remember now.
What sizes?
Size, yeah.
Oh no, it was only 20 by 40.
No, I don't think. Was it as big as our Parco? Was it? Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, and we rebuilt pianos in it, in the workshop. We just took them totally to bits and refurbished them completely like you would a vintage car. And Pat was a French polisher, and she did all the French polishing. And Pat got ill, seriously ill, and at that point we closed the workshop down, and I just concentrated on tuning after that.
Because I used to help him go out and pick pianos up and take pianos back, and because I'd had a major operation, he didn't want me lifting things after that.
Well, it was hard work with French polishing anyway.
Yes, it was, yeah.
You know, I mean, there was no way you could have done it after
No.
you'd had that massive up. So that's why.
Yeah.
But eventually, we decided, it was in 2005 to sell it. We didn't just sell up and buy a motorhome, we sort of did it in stages. And that was the first stage. We sold the house, but we had to get rid
Of a lot of stuff.
of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I sold stuff on eBay,
Yeah.
and in the end,
We left stuff there.
took stuff to the tip. Some stuff we left, but eventually I had to pay a bloke. We just piled stuff
In the
workshop, in the middle of the workshop, and rung a bloke to come and take it away. So you had to be merciless. I was saying that. You had to be totally merciless to do what we did.
Yeah.
Because we moved out of that house with a workshop into a park home.
Which was 20 by 40.
So we had to get rid of an heck of a lot. And then, that was in 2005, and we stayed in the park home until 11 years, until 2016. I retired, and then it was 2017 by the time we sold it, the park home. So we had to downsize again. I had to get rid of a load of stuff again.
Yeah.
Well, I had a digital, because we couldn't. I had a beautiful German upright. Oh, the top end was bell. It sounded like a bell. It was beautiful. But I couldn't take it with me. It was too heavy. It had gone through the floor. So I gave it to one of my customers, actually, my piano, and we bought a digital.
From another customer, then?
From another customer. I did, yeah. Yeah. And it were all right. I wasn't keen on digital pianos, not compared to a acoustic. But needs must. I couldn't have done without a piano. Because I used to always be learning new songs, and I always played. When I'd finished tuning a piano for someone, I always played maybe a dozen songs to prove that it was in tune. And a lot of customers liked
to hear it.
Yeah. So I had to get rid of that, the piano, and a load of other stuff. So that, once again, a lot of it was sold, and what were left, I had to take to the tip. And then we sold that, and we moved into a static caravan and bought a camper.
We had a caravan at that time.
Yeah, we did.
We sold the camper as soon as we moved into the static. Not
We
the
sold
camper, the
We
caravan.
sold the touring caravan when we moved into the static.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything for a while.
Yeah, we tried
I thought
hotels and...
I might not bother with one, and we'd just stay in hotels or bed and breakfast or something, but I hate hotels. And we decided to get a camper van, which we got. It was a Renault Master. It was only, I think it was 5.5 metres. I don't know how long that is. It was only fairly short.
That was a mistake.
It was a big mistake buying that.
It was my fault.
Not altogether. But it was a bit of both. But we shouldn't have bought that. That camper. It was no good for us. So eventually, we after a period of time, I think we're only in the static 18 months. We didn't like the park that it was. The caravan was beautiful. The static. You really liked.
Oh, I loved it. I loved the static. It was just what I wanted.
It were even nicer than park home.
Yes, yeah. The park home were bigger.
Mm.
But with the static, the kitchen, dining and living room were all in one. So you could just, see everything, and it was quite easy to keep clean. Only had 2 bedrooms and
It had 2 bathrooms.
yeah. Well, one were a toilet and sink and the other one were a shower.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? But
Sink
it was
and
good
shower.
to have 2.
Mm.
It was.
Mm.
It was nice, and we had decking put on it, didn't we? But
We did all the way around.
really hard to keep clean.
Well, this
outside.
UPV stuff, I thought it was low maintenance, but it wasn't.
No.
I'd clean it, and within days, it'd be all sticky
again.
and cobwebs everywhere on it.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not cobweb people.
and we could never sit out on it because it were always windy. We're in Lincolnshire, on the coast there, on that east coast. Well, not on the coast.
To be
it was,
windy, didn't it?
We're a bit inland. Well, it wasn't on the coast. It was a bit inland. Nearest coast was Sutton-on-Sea.
Nice place, Sutton-on-Sea.
Mm.
Well, we liked it.
We liked
it's only
it.
small
Little
We
place.
liked it,
Yeah,
didn't
we
we?
did like it.
And
So-
Alford.
So we downsized. So we decided we needed a base, because why we bought the static was because of Pat's tablets. We needed a doctor. We needed to be registered with a doc.
Gosh, I was more at in hospital and doctors there
While
than
you were there, you
anywhere else.
Yes, you were. Yeah, that's when you started with heart trouble.
Yeah.
While you were there, and you were in and out of hospital while you were there. So we had one day we talked to Tracy, and she says, why don't you use my place as a base? Register with a doctor, my doctor, and there's a room that you could use just for yourselves. So that's what we did. We sold the static back to the park, lost a packet.
Yeah, you have to sell it back to the park, you see that, don't you?
Lost a packet doing that. But we did that, and we bought the motor, and we put the camper, part exchanged it for the motorhome. And
That
and
took a bit of doing.
It did. Yeah, it did, because the camper van that we bought wasn't a mainstream conversion. It had been privately converted. People won't take it in Part X. Everywhere we went, they won't.
Yeah.
Until this one place that dealt in vans. They were really a van dealer. But they sold some motorhomes.
Yeah, he had an affiliation with a friend who sold camper vans, and he put some on his lot, hadn't he?
And that's when we bought Twat. That's where we got it.
Yeah. I mean, we actually moved from Waddington to Brigg because I can't drive, and the park home was just on the outskirts of Brigg, so we could walk in and shop whenever we wanted. I just had one of them little pulley trolleys and pick stuff up. And
So they
come
might
back.
say, so why did you leave there? Because I wanted to retire and I couldn't afford
The ground rent, the
everything that it would cost.
tax.
Ground rent, council tax, storage yard for van, going off in the van, all on a basic pension. Couldn't have done it. We'd have just sat there and vegetated. And I didn't want to do that.
No.
So that's why we did it.
Yeah. Because it was his intention to stay there, wasn't it? Because it was such a good position, and, everything were there that you needed.
And it was near the motorway network. So we used to go up to my mum's every other Saturday in Tadcaster. So we were straight onto M180 and up M18, M62 to Taddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that for
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I went and spent day with my mum. We were there until 9 o'clock at night. We used to come home. And we once thought we saw UFOs.
Yes.
We were just coming into Scunny, into Brig.
Yeah.
At about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we saw these formation of lights. And they were moving about in unison together like that. And all of a sudden they just went off like that, didn't they?
Yeah.
And we both saw them.
Oh.
Were they? Were they?
Ah, have we just seen?
Have we just seen?
Yes.
So we have a letter because it's 15 minutes.
Right. We can soon waffle on about old times.
Right. Can. Old times, with even the letters on. 15th of February, 1968. And this one is from me.
Oh.
My darling Pat. I said I wasn't, 1968, did I say that?
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to write until tomorrow, but I can't get a letter. But I got a letter from you, so I'm going to reply to it. You will notice the change of address after Monday the 18th. Can you write to that address until the 6th of March and then write to my old address again? So that's when I went to Berlin.
Berlin, yeah.
Yeah. When I was in Berlin, I went on a day trip through Checkpoint Charlie. That were in 68. And we went, it was timed to stop at various places in Berlin.
The bus.
The bus. It was really interesting.
You noticed that a lot of buildings were made from them, like tiles that they put in toilets,
They used to,
didn't you?
toilets, they were made of bricks, but they had a tile fascia
Like
on them. A
porcelain.
lot of the buildings in East Berlin were made out of that. Horrible. I'm sorry that letter of Andy's upset you so much, darling. I wish he hadn't written it, but he just wanted to help me. But now I hope you are feeling better and we can forget it. My father did write me a letter. It upset me a bit, as I didn't know how upset you were, darling. Andy showed me the letter you wrote to him. You know, you put some awful things in that letter about me. But I guess I deserved it, didn't I? And I still love you with all my heart, darling. You say you are coming out to me the first holiday you get. Well, it makes me very happy to hear you say that, darling. But you said you have had that much time off on sick that you doubt if you could get any more time off. That's why I wanted you to give up that job. But I don't know if the £5 a week you are getting from me is enough. And I can't really send you any more, as I am trying to save up for a deposit or a month's rent on a house. If you do decide to come out here, but I don't know if you want to give up your job, love. I'm glad you had a nice time on Sunday night, Pet. I wish I could have been there, just so I could sit and hold your hand, tell you how much I love you. Thank you for the Valentine's card, sweetheart. It's lovely. I wish I had sent one to you, but I didn't think it was the right thing to do, to send one to your wife.
Why?
I thought it was supposed to be an anonymous thing. You know, that the person you sent it to didn't know it was wrong.
Right.
Not a romantic as you are. Anyway, it wasn't, because I don't love you. What?
What's that?
Anyway, it wasn't because I don't love you, darling, but I love you very much. You say you had no money on Monday. Well, aren't you getting your money? You should have a book or go to the nearest post office to you and collect the money. Well, Matt, though I was sending you.
All right.
It's a good job you didn't send Andy a Valentine's card, as I would have been very jealous. Well, love, is your cold better today? I hope so. This afternoon I am going for a run, as I have been every Thursday. It's just to keep my gut down, so I look nice for you when we see each other again. And the sooner the better, as I am missing you terribly. Anyway, that's all for today, darling, so look after yourself, seeing as I'm not there to do it, won't you, love? All my fondest love from your loving hubby, Trev.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and then there's one from me.
Yeah. That was on the 25th, so I'd have been in Berlin.
Yeah.
So, and what are you going to do today, Pat? Cook the dinner?
Sunday, isn't it? Yeah.
Cook a meal?
Cook a main meal, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've had a cooked breakfast, so...
You have, so a lot of it will tea time, but I'll prepare out veg and that stick.
Wow, is it 11?
It is. Some meat in the oven.
Eh?
Stick some meat in the oven.
Stick some in, yeah. Okay, folks. I think that's a video for today. And thank you, everybody, for all your thumbs up that you're giving us in the comments column. And thanks for not getting this one, Betty. She pressed the wrong thing. Nearly sent me one of them.
And then she couldn't
She didn't know how to delete it. She had to ring her daughter. Oh, it's technology, Betty. It tangles us up, really.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I can't use it at all. You're one above me.
Oh, Pat can't. She hasn't got a clue.
No.
No.
I can't even answer his phone. I always press wrong thing. Do something wrong.
Mind you, that this phone is ridiculous to answer. Sometimes I don't even know how to either answer it or stop it. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll say bye.
Yeah, we'll say bye-bye till tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.